What's up YouTube, my name is SPHERICZ and today I'm gonna present to you 10 Euphoric Hardstyle melodies that I've made within the past 2 years. They are all out of various projects that I've started but never finished, so I thought why don't I just give them away. Yeah, I stopped talking now and I'm gonna play the 10 melodies, and after that I'm gonna talk a bit about how I mixed them, which presets I used and so on. And also, if you download the 10 melody pack, you get the samples and the presets and the project file, so you can play on your own around in this project. But let's start with the 10 melodies. So that's it, and let's just get right into it, what I did here. On the master, I used ozone just to boost the high frequencies and the mid and the lower mid frequencies a bit in stereo wideness. Then I used the maximizer to give the overall signal a boost, because I mixed it quite low. I always, when I start a project, put the cursors down about, I'd say, 5 to 6 dBs. And then I used a Magic Cue. I loaded a track which I like really much and which has a nice curve, and added it to my track. So yeah, this is the corrective EQ curve which got like which I used in this track right now. Next up, I just made everything below 100 Hz mono, and then I gave it a 3.45 boost in gain, so that it's about, when I play, that it's about 7 LUFS. When it comes to hardstyle mastering, some people master like 5 LUFS, some more higher, but I think if you do that in this range, it's okay. Next up, we got the euphoric kick. Yeah, I did some equalization because I wanted to make the bass frequencies, if they are deep or high, just exactly in the same volume level. And yeah, this is just some ringing what I've heard. And I wanted to cut some in the stereo image and wanted to boost some in the overall build. Yeah, and this is, I turn it off, I think. Next up, we got the downlifter and uplifter, just a little EQ and sidechain. Then we go into lead number 1. Let's go to melody number 1 and let's see what we can do here. Or let's see melody number 1 full. I'm gonna play it. So this lead is from Rapid. It was originally a pad, but I've changed some things because I like the white noise. Just equalization. Again, some different equalization to get rid of some high frequencies. Again, equalization. I always like to use different equalizations. And then a little compressor. Next up, we got the second lead. Again, just some compression. Also, it was also a pad, which I changed so it became a lead. Next up, we got lead number 3. That's a Silent 1 preset, which I made. Also just some low and high EQ, and the lead number 4. That's a preset. I don't know where I got it from, but I love it. I think it's originally in a Massive Bank, but yeah, I put it out, so I don't really know where I got it from. Yeah, what I did here is a bit more cut and low because this lead is quite harsh. Again, some high cut, a bit compression, just to catch the peaks. And yeah, I don't know why this thing is on here. I can turn it off. Because I added I added 20 dBs in gain, and then just the filter for some automation. Yeah, all of these leads, they go into the send channel. Again, compression, which is not really that necessary because it already got compressed, but just to make sure nothing gets over there. And then OTT, because OTT gives, just with 10% depth, OTT gives leads quite some nice touch to it. It makes them a bit more harsher, but of course a bit compressed, a compressed because it's a compressor. Next up we got the reverb. That's just equalization again. Then a preset that I made, I called it Xenia Reverb because I think it sounds like reverb from Xenia tracks. Then if you got Rapid, then you can use the plugin also for effects. And here I used, I made a reverb in Rapid and used it as FX, but didn't turn it up 100%. Then I compressed the reverb signal and compressed it again with the limiter. Yeah, the send goes also into the lead delay, compression, echo by a preset, and a limiter. So just when the signal comes in from the lead, that no reverb delay gets played when the original signal comes, only when the signal ends. So there you can see the ducking. And after that, I put the send into lead out 1. Yes, because I only put lead number 4 into lead out 2 because I didn't want it to compress it that much, and also didn't want it to add extra reverb and delay to this lead, so it has an own lead out. So what I did on lead out 2 is quite much, as you can hear. Again, an EQ, then another EQ. I just boosted the frequency about 12,000 Hertz, about 1 dB, and I attenuated the frequencies down there around 30 Hertz. And then I compressed it again, just a little bit. Then I used a different compressor, which adds some nice stereo width because it has the mid-side mode, and if you turn it on, then you can add some width. That's quite nice with the Sierra. And then I cut all the low frequencies, and then I added Soothe because I sidechained the euphoric kick to the lead out. So every time the kick plays, it filters out the frequencies that the kick has in the lead, so the kick stands out more. Yeah, so on lead out 2, that's just lead 4, I added some stereo width and balance just to make it a bit less loud. So that's it with the leads. Then the bass. The air bass from Waves is quite nice because it adds fullness to every bass preset. It's like a compressor, but you can change the frequency where it compresses. Then an EQ curve, so I cut everything above 500 Hertz around. Then my all-time favorite compressor. And then I made everything mono under 100 Hertz. That's it with the bass. And then we get right into the kick. I used nimble kick. I made the punch a bit louder. I added some distortion in the 50 Hertz area. And I equalized the tail a bit. I made a 1.5 decibel boost. And the punch also down there. And that's it in the plugin. Let's see what I did on the channel. Yeah, this is what I did. So really nice with the fab filter. You can, if you leave the mouse down here, then you can see the overall curve from the EQ, and you can see if the bass is all the time in the same volume area. So you can see that it's quite the same. If you want to change this point, it automatically tells you where the highest point is, so you can turn it down and it automatically creates a point here. I don't want to do it right now because I've checked it in my car, and if I turn it down, then it lacks some kind of punch, so it doesn't need to be necessarily all the same. It's just so that you don't have that much interferences and many difference in the bass volume overall. So 1 decibel difference is totally fine. Yeah, that's it. That's all the mixing. Yeah, the only automation clip I did is the cutoff. I already showed it. I didn't made any background source. Maybe I do in some month a video on how I make background source so that they are standing out in the drop. But in this time it's only lead and kick. Yeah, I hope you guys had fun watching this video, and I hope you have more fun when you download this project file and download the melodies. I'm very curious on how your track's gonna sound like with these melodies. You can, of course, use them in your track. You can monetize them. They are royalty free, so do whatever you want. Put it on Spotify. Yeah. I thank you for watching this video and see you later, alligator.